Hey everybody, welcome, welcome to Hidden Horror. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate that. Let's get started. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Hidden Horror. Welcome. So, let me catch you up to the channel and what's been going on. I've been having a lot of problems with StreamYard, with sound, with presenting documents, videos, going in between them. So I'm going to have to reach out to StreamYard. The video I did yesterday on updating the Carlethia Russell 1 year later, that video just lost sound in the middle. Then it came back when I did presenting. So I edited that video on YouTube, but I can't edit a video that's streamed live on Twitter. I can't edit a video like that. So I've edited on YouTube if you want to watch a short version. The article itself is not picked up at all. So the article is on the Hidden Horror Facebook page if you want to check it out. Now, as I came last night because of the news about President Donald Trump, I had family that ended up stopping by, staying late. I ended up going to bed extremely late. So I'm here this morning to give you some more details, right, about what happened yesterday. So President Donald Trump, he was at a rally in Pennsylvania. In the first few minutes of the rally, there was, I want to call him a sniper. He made 7 shots at President Trump. It appears from watching the videos, the one shot that did hit President Trump hit him in the upper part of his ear, and that caused some bleeding. The Secret Service immediately came in to protect him, and they eventually were able to remove him, rush him off the stage to safety. So I'm just here to provide that information to you. I have 3 videos, and then I just want to inform you, I'm going to put a little warning up because this is a violent act, and I know some people can't really handle that. So it's reported between 1 and 2 people were unalived. The shooter was unalived. He is deceased. So I'm going to put a warning up before we get started. If you have to leave the video, thank you for checking out the video. Hopefully I'll see you in another video. I'm only going to briefly, all the videos are pretty short. I'm going to just share those videos. I really don't have a comment. I don't really do political videos. I'm just glad that President Trump is safe. Unfortunately, there was someone that was behind him in those succession of 7 shots. That person was shot and killed. I believe they're counting the shooter as the second person that was killed, and then there was a few others that was injured. So we want to give condolences to the family of the person that was killed, that was behind President Trump. They have different displays demonstrating where the bullets went. They appear to all have been targeted at President Trump, and it appears to be an assassination attempt. The person that they have found to have committed this crime was a 20-year-old man from Pennsylvania. They really don't have any specific reasons yet. They do have a video that they found, that I found also, of the shooter putting out some views about Trump. So that could possibly be a motive. I'm sure they're going to do a thorough investigation, investigate all aspects of what happened, not just the shooter, to Secret Service detail, how they were monitoring, and how the Secret Service was at the venue for his protection in that perimeter. So let's get started. I want to first start off by sharing. Uh, I'm going to share Donald Trump's statement first. And also, there was a short video of him coming off an airplane. So he arrived in New Jersey, and they show him taking some steps down an airplane. So he appears to be physically okay. I'm sure him, as well as a lot of the onlookers in the crowd, were probably shaken up. When you hear the pops, I don't know if people quickly identify that as gunfire, but that was definitely gunfire. I watched the video 50 times, just basically on repeat, to see if there was anything that I could pick up. And there wasn't really much. So let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So this is the statement that was put on Truth from President Trump. I'll read that. It says, I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong, in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America. Okay, so that's President Trump's statement. There was also this video. There we go. Wait a minute. This is the video. I'm trying to get the sound. Okay. So President Trump appears to be physically okay. He's walking. He's able to do it by himself. Um, he's not physically appearing to have any problems. So I think that's really good. It appears that he will be able to continue on with really no issues, except the healing, of course, in his skin for his right ear. Um, I want to go to the video. The video is going to include the shooting, and it's going to detail a little bit about the shooter and how the FBI was able to identify the shooter. So this is my warning to you. If you're not able to handle watching any violence, I'm giving you a warning that I'm about to share that video. It's a YouTube video, and it's linked on the Hidden Horror Facebook page. So I'm going to prepare now to share my screen and show you that video. It's titled FBI Identifies 20-Year-Old as Suspect in Trump Rally Shooting. It's by ABC 11. Okay. So I'll enlarge my screen and I'll share the video now. Last chance if you need to click off. I'll give you 5 seconds to do that. And thank you again for checking out this video. Okay, I'm going to start the video.
Continuing our team coverage of the breaking news this morning of the assassination attempt on the former president that took place last night.
Josh Einiger in Butler, Pennsylvania, where the situation happened, and he's been there all night. Josh, tell us what it's like on the ground now this morning. What are you seeing in here?
Well, Anthony and Sydney, good morning. As the sun rises, it's sort of hard to really show you the picture of how small and remote this community is. We're north of Pittsburgh in a rural farming community that is waking up basically under lockdown this morning as federal agents crawl over every inch of the fairground that devolved yesterday into chaos and the attempted assassination of a former president of the United States.
The world will see a vibrant Republican Party.
Donald Trump was just minutes into his speech before tens of thousands in this rural Pennsylvania fairground went through the cheers of his followers. Came the popping of gunfire. The former president grabbed at his right ear, then dove to the ground as a swarm of Secret Service agents scrambled to cover him.
We heard pound, pound, pop, pop, pop. In everybody's mind, it was like 4th of July. Somebody must have been still doing firecrackers.
A few endless moments later, as panic rippled through the crowd, the agents brought Trump to his feet. Blood now trickling down his face, he raised his fist and mouthed the word "fight" as his detail rushed him off the stage to the safety of an armored SUV.
We got down, and we huddled, and we started praying.
The FBI has identified the shooter as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, about an hour away. Officials say he perched himself with an AR-style rifle on a roof.
Let me pause this right here.
Feet.
So within this video, they're showing you how the placement was from the stage that President Trump was on, from where the Secret Service was, and then of course where the shooter allegedly was. And it appears to be, they said 130 yards, which is 390 feet. That was a significant difference. That was, that's quite a bit of feet. But it appears to be a direct angle to the stage. And even looking at this, I saw it on about 2 different other videos. It reminds me of kind of like a stretched out triangle, but the Secret Service snipers, you can tell from looking at this, they are a lot closer. I mean, they're closed in, and this could be due to whatever their perimeter setup was, how far they would be away from the actual stage. But the sniper, the shooter, I'm calling him a sniper, but the shooter, he appears to be more than 2 times away from the stage, just looking at the distance. So I believe he was probably outside of the perimeter that was set up. But unfortunately, this high-powered weapon that he used, the bullets were able to travel and close into that distance of about 390 feet or 130 yards. So you can kind of visualize this for yourself. It's a good example of the distance, okay? So I'll continue the video.
From the stage where Trump was speaking, and he fired at least 8 rounds before Secret Service counter snipers returned fire and killed him.
We do not currently have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive was.
I saw the man that was hit in the head, and there was a lot of blood, and I knew there was no way he was going to survive that.
A man in the crowd was killed, 2 others critically injured. Trump was grazed in the ear. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear, he later posted. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, he added, so I realized then what was happening. After receiving treatment at a local hospital late last night, Trump arrived at Newark Airport, walking down the stairs from his jet on his own power. His motorcade then whisked him to his golf club in Bedminster. President Biden returned to the White House and spoke by phone with the former president. The Biden campaign has pulled all political advertising after the assassination attempt on his rival.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this.
The biggest question right now, of course, is why? Why did this shooter choose to attempt to assassinate Donald Trump? Voter rolls here in Pennsylvania say he was registered as a Republican. The investigation, of course, into all of this continues this morning. Also unclear how this happened, how the Secret Service managed to allow him to slip through their very tight security. The director of the Secret Service has already been called to testify on Capitol Hill about this failure. Back to you in Durham.
A lot of unanswered questions there, Josh. One more for you. Do you know, after all the people were cleared from the scene, they had to leave a lot of personal belongings, including possibly some walkers and wheelchairs behind? Do you know if those people have been able to retrieve those belongings since this situation happened?
Yeah, Anthony, it's a real mess. As you could imagine, there's all kinds of things left behind. And no, it's a giant crime scene. So people have been told they have to wait to get their belongings. That actually includes the press, camera equipment, all kinds of things that were there as part of this rally have all been frozen as the FBI and the Secret Service work to get to the bottom of all of this.
All right, Josh, thank you so much for bringing us the latest information.
Okay. So I wanna read this article. Oh, I'm sorry. Something is still playing. Okay. My bad. Um, I wanna read this article to you. It's by NBC News. The title of the article is Shooter in Trump Assassination Attempt Identified, Spectator Killed in Attack. This article is dated July 14th, 2024. Uh-oh. 1 second. It was so detailed. The article that was there yesterday. Okay. I'm sorry, they did a separate attachment for the update, which was on a different link. So let me fix that. So if someone clicks the link, I want them to have the most current link. Okay, so just want to correct that. So I don't want anybody going to the wrong link. Yeah, because they definitely changed the link in one day. Okay, so you have the right link on the Hidden Horror Facebook page now. So let's get back to the article. So it says, what do we know? Former President Donald Trump was injured in an assassination attempt at a campaign rally yesterday in Butler, Pennsylvania. Trump, who emerged with a bloodied face, said he was shot in the ear and described a whizzing sound and a bullet ripping through the skin. The FBI said the shooter, identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, was immediately killed by the Secret Service. A motive is still not known. The shots at Trump were fired from an elevated position outside the Secret Service's security perimeter for the venue. Source said it was a semi-automatic rifle and are investigating if the gun was purchased by the shooter's father. A spectator was killed and 2 were critically injured in the shooting, the Secret Service said, although it did not provide further details about the victims. Now, I'm going to go into these smaller sections of the article. I really like this. So I'm going to go to smaller sections of the article now. Gun used by shooter may have been his father's, purchased legally. 2 senior law enforcement officials briefed on the investigation into the weapon used by Thomas Matthew Crooks say investigators are looking into whether the gun used by the shooter belonged to the shooter's dad and had been purchased legally. What we know so far about the shooter. 5 senior law enforcement officials have confirmed this is a photo of the alleged shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks. Let me share this. It's like a straight-on picture. So I want to show you that picture of him. So let me go to the article so I can show you this picture of him. So it's a good quality picture of him. So that's why I'm making the effort to show it to you. Some of the other pictures, they're not that great. Okay, so I can't click on the picture. Let me see if I can reduce. Yeah, just so you can see his face. Okay, that's really good. Yeah, that's perfect. Just want you to see who Thomas Matthew Crooks, what he looks like, okay? I'm going to continue. Little more is known about him as of late morning on Sunday, a surprising development considering the scale of interest in this situation. No major social media accounts have been found so far, despite plenty of efforts from journalists and internet sleuths. I even looked for some social accounts, but I couldn't find any. But I don't have a lot of social accounts either. So anyway, what little has been found that appears to be connected to him, video from a high school graduation, some high school yearbook pictures offer no clues about a motive. A Pennsylvania voter registration that matches information from authorities about the shooter shows he was a registered Republican, though that offers few answers as well. More information could come out in the near future, but initial efforts to learn more have come up empty. Now there's a section called The Tone of the GOP Convention Likely to Change. Charles Benson, chief political reporter at Milwaukee WTMJ, joined NBC News Meet the Press this morning and previewed expected changes at the upcoming Republican National Convention in Milwaukee this week. I'm hoping it doesn't change all that dramatically, Benson told moderator Kristen Welker, reflecting on the unique opportunity conventions give voters to interact with elected officials. Still, Benson admitted the security will likely change dramatically after the assassination attempt on Trump. Benson added that Trump, in accepting the nomination, will now be expected to give the speech to set the tone not only for the convention, but also moving forward. Earlier Sunday, NBC News correspondent Dasha Burns said that the tone of Trump's rally instantly changed after the shooting on Saturday afternoon, with some attendings turning on members of the press in attendance to go from that jovial atmosphere, excited to see someone you're planning to vote for, to suddenly witnessing a historic and devastating event was tragic, Burns added. The next group is titled Melania Trump Calls for Unity. In her first statement since the assassination attempt on her husband, former First Lady Melania Trump called for unity as she recalled the moments following the attempt on the former president's life. When I watched that bullet strike my husband, Donald, I realized my life and Barron's life were on the brink of devastating change, Melania said. She said that the shooter saw the former president as an inhuman political machine. The core facets of my husband's life, his human side, were buried below the political machine, she said. Donald, the generous and caring man who I have been with through the best of times and the worst of times. The former First Lady thanked Secret Service, law enforcement supporters, and commended those of you who have reached out beyond the political divide. Don is here again. Let us reunite now. Melania Trump said this morning, ascend above the hate, the vitriol, and the simple minded ideas that ignite violence. Okay, so I'm going to take him off for a minute. I'm going to continue on. Senator Bernie Sanders, politics should be boring. So these are just different sections in this article. They're noting, people close to Mr. Trump and also politically in the various areas. Okay, so Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, an independent who caucuses with Senate Democrats, on Sunday told NBC News, Meet the Press, that harsh rhetoric doesn't have a place in politics. What we need as a nation, what a democracy is about, is not radical rhetoric, Sanders told moderator Kristen Welker, adding, what it is about is serious discussion of where we are as a nation and how we go forward, in a certain way. Christian politics should be kind of boring. Sanders added that he hopes to see a serious discussion of serious issues and not this kind of harsh rhetoric that we have heard for the last number of years. Senator Chris Coons, a Democrat from Delaware, spoke to Meet the Press shortly after Sanders and told Welker that members on both sides of the aisle were seeking community in the aftermath of the shooting. All of us are reaching out to each other in Congress, Coons said. The next section is Senator John Fetterman. It's a dark day for our nation. Senator John Fetterman, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, said he was stunned by the assassination attempt on Trump last night. It's shocking and it's a dark day for our nation, Fetterman said in an interview on CNN's State of the Union, adding that he was attending the funeral of a slain transgender teenager last night near the Trump rally shooting. I immediately was like, I'm just so glad that Donald Trump is going to be okay, he added, and my heart goes out to the people that have lost their lives and all of that. Fetterman said he has not heard any specific information from federal or state law enforcement and called on the public to turn down any kind of temperature in the months heading into the November election. Senator Ron Johnson, a Republican from Wisconsin, also urged the public to turn this moment into a moment that helps us down a path of healing and warned against heated political rhetoric on both sides during a separate interview on CNN's State of the Union. Johnson called for congressional oversight hearings after the investigation into the shooting concludes. The greatest threat to our nation is that we are deeply divided, Johnson said. So now they're going to talk about the shooter a little bit. It says 3 senior U.S. law enforcement officials say the person who fired at Trump yesterday in Pennsylvania used a semi-automatic rifle based on what was found at the scene. The next section, Representative Dan Muser, as shots rang out, I was thinking the worst. Pennsylvania Representative Dan Muser on Sunday described what he saw during Saturday's rally where former President Donald Trump was shot, saying, I really was thinking the worst, and so you get a surge of anger or frustration of wanting to do something. Muser, who spoke at the rally several minutes before Trump, was standing near the front of the crowd alongside Pennsylvania Republican Senate candidate David McCormick. We were trying to even get over the barrier after the shots rang out, Muser told NBC News. Meet the Press, adding, and then, of course, the Secret Service was on it immediately. Okay, another section. An eyewitness describes nightmare as two victims were shot in front of her. That was a nightmare, what I just lived through. Donna Hutz, an eyewitness to the assassination attempt on Trump, said on Sunday morning. Hutz said she was seated in the section of the bleachers behind Trump where two spectators, a man and a woman, were shot. Speaking on a special edition of NBC News Today show this morning, Hutz said she heard the three shots and what sounded to her like a cap gun. In the following seconds, Hutz said everything was going on. My son says, get down, it's a gun. People were getting down as we were getting down. From her position lying on the ground, Hutz described seeing the victims. Both the man and the woman were laying on the bleachers. They just fell down in front of them. She said another man laid a towel on the head of the man who had been shot out of respect as others began yelling for medics. We knew at that point the man probably did not make it, she said. It's something that you never want to witness. The next section is Trump campaign advisors urge staff to stay home. Senior advisors for the Trump campaign, Chris LaCivita and Susie Weil, have urged staff not to come into either the D.C. or West Palm Beach office on Sunday as they ensure the security of both locations. We are enhancing the armed security presence with 24/7 officers on site, they wrote in a letter. Additional security assessments will be in place. Our highest priority is to keep all of you on this staff safe. They confirmed that the Republican National Committee convention that begins in Milwaukee tomorrow will continue as planned. The next section, Speaker Mike Johnson on Trump shooting. Everyone needs to turn the rhetoric down. Speaker Mike Johnson on Sunday told NBC News that former President Donald Trump's shooting on Saturday is evidence that Americans need to turn the rhetoric down. We're all Americans and we have to treat one another with dignity and respect, Johnson said, while casting some blame on President Joe Biden, who told supporters on a campaign call last week that it was time to refocus the presidential race away from his age and back on Trump. The next section, two patients in critical condition. Two patients who attended Trump's rally remain in critical condition after they were admitted to the hospital last night. Dan Laurent, Vice President of Corporate Communications at Allegheny Health Network, confirmed that both were being treated at Allegheny General Hospital in Pittsburgh. Next section, we're demonizing each other too much, says Trump supporter. David Brown, a 51-year-old Trump supporter from Pittsburgh, reacted to the attempted assassination by asking Americans to tone down the rhetoric. We're demonizing each other too much, said Brown, who works for a telecom company in Pittsburgh. Brown says Trump is not as bad as he's been made out to be, and his supporters are also misunderstood. We're not as bad as we've been vilified to be, said Brown, of Trump supporters like himself. A lot of us are just hardworking Americans that would just want to see a decent country again, he added. Brown said the emotions he's feeling are shock, anger, horrified, but Americans thrive under adversity. I think when tragedy does happen, though, it's when Americans do reveal their better qualities, said Brown. The next one, eyewitness who was just feet away from Trump says she had no idea it was a bullet. An eyewitness who was only feet away from the lectern when a bullet damaged Donald Trump's ear said she had no idea the former president was injured at first and that there was a shooter when he was pushed down to the ground. Aaron Ottenreeve told a special edition of NBC's Today Show this morning that she heard what she thought was fireworks before she saw Secret Service agents pushing the former president to the ground. 1 second, Trump was speaking and showing a picture on a big screen. The next, he was on the floor. Then I looked at him, and while the four Secret Service jumped on the stage and pushed him straight down, then they also pushed on all the photographers that were down there. There was like a pile of them. Nobody was moving for a couple of minutes. I thought somebody was having a party, but then everything just stopped. And I mean, I thought it was 5 minutes into the speech, but I think now it was 10 minutes into the speech. The Trump supporter had been at the rally site since 7 a.m. working as a volunteer. I thought he was injured by being pushed down to the ground, she said. She added that the Secret Service agents lifted Trump up off the ground. He said he had to put his shoes on, so they must have fallen off, she said. And I thought that when I didn't think that he was injured, I thought he was injured just by them pushing him down. I had no idea it was a bullet. Next section. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. calls for unity after shooting. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is running as an independent, has called for unity after the shooting and offered his prayers to Donald Trump. His father, Robert F. Kennedy, was assassinated while campaigning for the presidency in 1968. Now is the time for every American who loves our country to step back from the division, renounce all violence, and unite in prayer for President Trump and his family, he posted on X. Biden aide responds to accusations of incendiary rhetoric. An aide to Biden responded to accusations from Trump allies that Biden's rhetoric was responsible for the assassination attempt on the former president. The aide pointed to the continued comments the president has made condemning political violence and saying it can never happen before and during the presidency. On Saturday following the attack, Biden said there was no place in America for this kind of violence, adding, "It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons we have to unite this country." The next section. Secret Service disputes claim that additional security was rejected. Secret Service spokesperson Anthony Guglielmi has dismissed claims that additional security at the Trump rally was requested and rejected. There's an untrue assertion that a member of the former president's team requested additional security resources, that those were rebuffed, he posted on X. This is absolutely false. In fact, we added protective resources and technology and capabilities as part of the increased travel tempo. Next section. Trump says we will not fear not in new online posts. Trump posted on his social media website Truth Social early this morning, again thanking supporters. "We will fear not, but instead remain resilient in our faith and defiant in the face of wickedness," Trump wrote online. "Our love goes out to the other victims and their families. We pray for the recovery of those who were wounded and hold in our hearts the memory of the citizen who was so horribly killed. In this moment, it is more important than ever that we stand united and show our true character as Americans, remaining strong and determined and not allowing evil to win." Next section. Kremlin condemns political violence and says danger to Trump was obvious. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said the atmosphere around candidate Trump provoked the attack in a statement on Sunday. After numerous attempts to eliminate candidate Trump from the political arena, first using legal tools, in quotations, quote, courts, prosecutors, attempts of political discreditation, it was obvious to all outside observers that his life was in danger, he said, before condemning the attack and wishing a speedy recovery to all those injured. Russian Minister of Foreign Affairs spokeswoman Maria Zakharova told a swipe at U.S. support for Ukraine by suggesting the attack would not have happened if President Joe Biden spent more money on internal security rather than creating a terrorist structure in Ukraine. Maybe it would be better to use this money to finance the U.S. police and other services which are supposed to administer law in the United States. The next section, British PM Starmer appalled by assassination attempt. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said political violence has no place in our societies on Saturday evening, shortly after the attack. I am appalled by the shocking scenes as President Trump's rally, and we send him and his family our best wishes, he posted on X. Political violence in any form has no place in our societies, and my thoughts are with all the victims of this attack. The next one. Some Republicans blame President Biden and Democrats for shooting. Republican members of Congress are blaming President Joe Biden, Democrats, and the media for yesterday's assassination attempt, claiming the shooting was a result of incendiary rhetoric against Trump and efforts to imprison him. The posts were highlighted in a summary from Advanced Democracy, a left-leaning NGO that monitors far-right extremism. Senator J.D. Vance, among the potential picks for Trump's running mate in the 2024 election, said the central premise of the Biden campaign is that Trump is an authoritarian fascist. He said this rhetoric led directly to President Trump's attempted assassination. Republican Representative Mike Collins posted that Joe Biden sent the orders. A motive for the shooting has not been identified. Next one, China's President Xi expresses sympathies after shooting. China's President Xi Jinping expressed his compassion and sympathy to Donald Trump on Sunday, a spokesman said. China is following the shooting incident at the campaign rally of former U.S. President Donald Trump. President Xi Jinping has expressed sympathies to former President Trump, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman said in a statement. Next section, a fundamental security failure. How did a gunman open fire on a Trump rally? How does a gunman in plain view of some spectators manage to open fire on a former president at a campaign rally protected by federal and local law enforcement? That is a frightening and unanswered question facing the country and security officials after Donald Trump said he suffered a graze wound on his right ear while he was speaking in a field in Butler, Pennsylvania, and left the stage with a bloodied head. The next one. French President Macron calls shooting a tragedy for our democracies. French President Emmanuel Macron called the assassination attempt a tragedy for our democracies on Sunday as he wished Donald Trump a speedy recovery. My thoughts are with President Trump, the victim of an assassination attempt, he posted on X. I send him my wishes for a speedy recovery. A spectator has died. Several are injured. It is a tragedy for our democracies. France shares the shock and indignation of the American people. The next one. Possible shooter appeared to wear a t-shirt that promoted YouTube gun channel. Photos of the body of a possible shooter on a roof near the Trump rally appear to show the person wearing merchandise promoting one of YouTube's most popular channels devoted to firearms. The photos, verified by NBC News, show a person lying on a roof bleeding from the head, surrounded by law enforcement officers. The bleeding person is wearing a gray t-shirt with an American flag on the sleeve with block lettering that is partly obscured. The appearance and lettering of the shirt match the appearance of a shirt that is still for sale on the website for the firearms YouTube channel. I don't know if I should say it. Demolition Ranch. After the photos and speculation began to circulate online Saturday evening, Demolition Ranch and its founder posted to social media sharing the photos and writing, "What the H?" Demolition Ranch has over 11 million subscribers on YouTube, where the channel frequently posts videos about various types of firearms. It is part of a large network of YouTube channels devoted to celebrating and testing out guns. The YouTube channel did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Yeah, this is the last one. Okay. Video shows Trump getting off plane following assassination attempt. New video shows Trump walking down the steps of his plane unassisted after landing. Holding the rail with his right hand, Trump gave a gentle wave with his left as he made his way to the tarmac. Okay, so we're going to do 2 more videos. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, this video is titled, Who Was Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20-year-old shooter accused of assassination attempt on Donald Trump? Okay.
Something that said, take a look at what happened.
Let me pause this. So they're showing you the 7 shots. I'm going to just rewind it a little bit so you can see them again. They're putting up the number to demonstrate where they were, the direction, okay? So let me just rewind it just a tiny bit so you can see all 7 of the shots.
Just said, take a look at what happened.
So if you watch it, you can actually see the podium moving as the shots are hitting it. Shots 4 through 7, you can see the podium moving as the shots are hitting it sequentially. So I'll rewind it one more time because I really want you to see that.
Something that said, take a look at what happened.
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
sir. I got you. Let me get my shoes. Hold up your head. So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes. Watch out.
Okay. So you kind of saw the shooting, you saw the 7 shots. I believe shot number 3 is what hit President Trump in his right ear. Unfortunately, the couple behind him, the husband and wife, were both injured. The husband ended up passing away. So again, we want to send condolences out to that family. You know, it's just a very sad situation. And then you could see shots 4 through 7 hitting the podium. There was a lot of well wishes and love sent out for President Trump and his family, as well as all of the people injured and the one citizen that was killed. I read numerous positive wishes from President Obama, President George W. Bush, President George Bush, President Bill Clinton, and Hillary Clinton, from Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka Trump, and also his son. I believe I read one from Eric Trump. I can't remember all of them. I read a lot of well wishes, and I want to say that President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris also made statements. I'm only going to show you the statement from President Biden. He did a short news conference after the breaking news hit yesterday about President Trump. So this will be the last thing I share. That so you can see it.
Thanks for coming, folks. I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And so I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have engaged in making sure that people who, and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. Everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. So far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do. Okay?
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried for President safety? Was the security failing, Mr. President?
I'm going to show you a way to potentially make money.
Okay. So that was President Biden's statement. Again, even when I did come on briefly yesterday, I just wanted to let people know, but I wanted also to get more details about what happened. It appears that that was an assassination attempt because all of those bullets were coming right at President Trump, right? So I don't know any other way. It feels like he was the target of those bullets. So I believe that that was an assassination attempt. I'm sure it's going to be thoroughly investigated. I know the FBI is involved, of course, the Secret Service, which does the detail for former presidents. I know I saw at least 10 or more agents. Um, I could count at least 6 protecting him on the stage, and then there was a detail where the vehicle was, and I could account for maybe another 6. But also, that does not include people that are possibly in the crowd that are Secret Service agents, as well as the rifled sniper type agents that would be in various places, covertly trying to kind of conceal and blend. Some things that I learned many years ago, even the clothing can conceal an automatic weapon, as well as placing them in strategic places like having the higher ground and being able to shoot down with snipers. So I'm sure there's going to be some investigative behind the scenes of how it all played out, the layout where people were positioned in the moments leading up until and after the 7 shots. So if more details come out that are important, I will come back and provide those. Again, I don't typically cover anything like this that's political, but because it is a criminal act and it's involving a high-ranking former president, that's why I'm doing that video. So I don't really have any comments about the incident. I just feel relieved that President Trump is safe and that more people were not injured. Again, our condolences out to the victim's family and also his wife that was injured, okay? So we want to send our love, our prayers out, okay? Please, everybody, remember to stay smart, stay safe, stay savvy, be well, take care of each other out here, okay? Always make good decisions, always thinking ahead. My daughter, she brought some information to me, and I'm going to sit down and do a video with her. It's going to be on the lines of like some safety tips. She saw something on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but she shared it with me, and I asked her, would she come on to do a video to give I guess this is part of different ways to get primarily women trafficked. So she's going to come on and detail that a little bit. And then I also have to provide those tips to help protect your children primarily from S abusers. So I have to do a separate video with that. It's going to fall under my safety tips. Yeah, I didn't have any idea any of this was going to happen. I actually planned a video to talk about, is there a mass serial killer? Excuse me, is there a serial killer in Texas? So I'm going to set that video to the side and maybe do it sometime this week, upcoming week, because I didn't get really, but maybe 4 hours of sleep last night on top of just dealing with things, and it's Sunday, so I have to cook a Sunday dinner and all of that. And I didn't get time to spend with my daughter as much as she wanted yesterday, plus my husband. So I'm going to try to take the rest of the day to do some of those things. Plus, my mom is going to come over and I'm going to spend a little bit of time with her. So I am stretched to the max. But I just wanted to give you this update because I really tried last night. But when my nephew, his wife, and kids came, they were over to almost midnight. I didn't get into bed till 5 a.m. with things that I had to do after he left. So, I'm doing my best to try to keep bringing this, consistent content on top of having to heavily edit live videos because of some of the issues with StreamYard. And I just found out today, through my ex account, that I have to have a premium account now to go live. So I had to look into that. Plus, I don't have my 100 subscribers on Facebook, so I have to do these uploads. So it's just been a lot technically behind the scenes to keep this content consistently coming. I need to look into my ex account now. Plus, I need you guys to subscribe, to follow me on Facebook so I can get to that 100, because I'm having to download these videos, then upload them to Facebook. And now again, I have some issues with X. I have to have a premium account, I guess, if I want to go live with X. And you can't share large videos like this. It's just a few minutes you can upload. So I would have to figure out if I want to stay on X or not. I guess I need to make a decision. I need to look into that and figure that out pretty soon, because you can't upload a video that's an hour. It's too large, but you can go live. So I'm going to think about that. I'll let you know. If you decide you want to comment, please do not comment on anything that is political based. If you have an opinion, hey, that's cool, but please don't make it a political opinion about either Democrats, Republicans, Biden, or Trump. We really just want to wish everybody involved in the shooting at the rally in Pennsylvania. We're sending them love. I don't want to have people upset or arguing in the comments. You're welcome to comment. Again, I don't personally have a comment other than wishing everybody the best. This is not a political channel, even though I could create one. I do have a degree in political science pre-law, but that's not my interest. I'd rather keep that separate and connect with people on the issues, important issues, safety, how to prevent some of these crimes from happening, from being a victim of crime, right? What's happening when people are prosecuted? What kind of evidence? Those are things that are more important to me versus going down that political route. I have no interest in that. But you can make a comment, and I typically read the comments and will respond if appropriate. So again, have a good Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday. Again, we're sending all the love across the United States, okay, for mankind, okay? Have a great day, everybody. Bye.